Hello guys, today I'll be showing you how to create your own effect in Black Ops 3 Black Radiant. So as you can see, I already have created the tutorial map. This is by default, and I'll keep it in render mode. So as you can see, I still didn't compile the lights, but you have to compile them to even run the FX. So I'll do that in the meantime. What all do we need? So first we need the FX outline. Here we will create our FX. So right click and new effect. As you can see, this little entity should show on the 3D grid. Now let's name it tutorial. This is basically it for the FX outline. Now let's continue to the properties. This is the next step. I'll be showing you just how to create a basic FX. So I'll be just using generation, movement, and visual. I don't know about those three options. I did not use them at least now. So, and of course I'll explain some of those options here in those three tabs. So this is the generation tab, and let's start off with, of course, here's the name. The method, one shot or looping, as the name says. You can create it for a loop that will always repeat the FX, or one shot, so it will play once, what will be most likely scripted. Spawn count, this is how many times it will spawn. Let's say I set it up from 1 to 5, and this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value. So it will choose a random number between 1 and 5, and so many times it will spawn it, but it will be much better to see that in one shot, so I'll just leave it on 1. Interval, this is after what amount of time the FX will show itself again. At the moment it's set to 0.1 second. I'll set it up on 1 second. Delay, this is an option that's uses for, let's say you're creating an explosion. Let's say it like this. So you're creating an explosion. First, the fire will pop out, and then some sparks. I don't know. This is used for that the second FX, so the second image will show. Let's say I'll set it to 1 second, and after 1 second, that second image, let's say that's the second image, it will start playing, but I'll leave it on 0 for now. The life is literally, as the name says, the life, the duration, how long the FX will live. Origin. So this is an option that's used for if you don't want your image to be played on that little entity, as you can see here. You can set up or the coordinates for it, let's say, so the minimum value, the maximum value, let's say 50. So it will choose a number on the X, so the X from 0 to 50, where it will spawn a random number. Let's say this is 50. So on any location on the X from 0 to 50. I'll leave it on 50, here 50, and here 50 as well, so you can believe me. And this is basically it for the generation tab. Let's move forward to movement. About those options, let's say I don't know how to explain them, so I'll just leave it on world. Since I'll be creating an FX that will be global, so it will start playing from the beginning once the map is loaded. The scale, and this is velocity, so I won't be using velocity, but this is I'll explain it. So velocity is more or less something, an option that's used for moving the FX from locations, or from one to other location, let's say. you want to move it like this, or if it's something like snow, you want to recreate it or something like that, it can move, let's say, from left to this location to top, then move down. I don't know, depends on how you want to create it. But most of the time, all of those names say what they are doing. You need to experiment with it for a while, then you'll understand it. The size, so height. I'll leave it as it is. But sometimes some images won't be able to resize it in the next step I will be showing, so you will have to adjust that here. The visual. I'll be just going to explain the billboard spread and the orient spread, or no, better, I'll just show you. I won't explain this better. I'll hit on the billboard spread, and here we will add our image for the FX. I'll be just randomly choosing one image, let's say this one. No. Okay, this one. As you can see, it's choosing, as I set it up, from 0 to 50 on a location, on a random location from Z, X, and Epsilon. From 0 to 50, a random location. The billboard sprite. As you can see, this option is more or less wherever you go, it will always be playing at the tag of your eye. If I go up, it will play it like this as well. So it doesn't really matter where you are. It will always be, the FX will always be faced to you. The orient spread is, as you may see, wordly 2D, and I guess it's only for the X, but I'll leave it on the billboard spread. Animation, I'll set up it on random, and I'll leave it as it is. Now the next step, the FX property. Now the next step, the FX graph. Here you can, as I said before, for the velocity and the other settings, you can make a much better adjustment here. I won't be showing for the velocities, or either I can show it for the rotation. Let's say here. This is here on rotation. You set up the angle. I'll set up 180, and this is more or less for setting up the speed. It's as well connected to this and this as well. Let's see, I'll set it up like this, and it's starting to rotate, but from slower to faster. I'll leave it on max, and I'll set up here a longer duration. Yep. The white diameter. This is the white diameter. This is, as you can see, for scaling the FX from 0 to the max value, or to the whatever value set up, doesn't matter. You can as well adjust, or to whatever value you want, doesn't really matter. But as you can see, you can as well add some more like setting it up to bigger or lower. Just press your middle mouse button and on that line or somewhere in space here, and as you can see, it will go by the setup of the graph as I told it to. The color. Here you set up your color, as you may notice. Let's say I want it to be bright red to something like this blue, and it will start going from bright red to blue. the alpha. So this is the intensity of the image. If I set it up like this, so it will fade over time from lower scale to higher scale. And about the other options, I don't know. And this is basically it. You created your own custom effect. Now let's go back here. As you noticed on start, the new effect is red. How to fix that? Select it, save selected effect. You should pop up with this window where all of the effects from triarch, whatever are. I already made my map custom, and I'll name it tutorial. And it's safe. It's not red anymore. It's in the library, and this is basically it. The effect. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and this is basically it. You can as well add more of those options. So let's say I have this little, I don't know what this is, like a spark or something. You have one effect, one image, then you can set up multiple images for one FX. But the best way to figure out how they work, I recommend going to FX browser. Let's say I'll go to electric and I'll check this out. Oh, I'll check this out. Yeah. This is a one looping. This is one shot image. Yeah, this is a one shot image. I won't be using this one. Okay, this one. This electric. As you can see, it's nothing happening. But once I move it, the electricity sparks or whatever are going out. So you basically used an FX from Triarch, and you can look it up. So this is the best way to figuring out on how to create your own effects by browsing through the already made FXs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, and I hope that you learned something.